not taking personal readings at this time. Please do not get scammed by people posing as me in the comments section. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Roseology. Today's reading is all about your sacral chakra and deriving messages from the energy center that handles and deals with our emotions. So this is our energetic digestive space, and basically the sacral chakra area can show us how we are currently processing life, reality, and our experiences. And this area can show us why we see things, process things, handle things the way that we do. This is the energy currently cohabitating in that area, and basically the information that it has been communicating to our energy body. So any messages from your sacral, lunar, subconscious area is what we're looking into today and how it's been trying to communicate to you. Okay, so let's just jump straight into the disclaimers and the meditation. Obviously, this is a general reading, meaning that it will resonate with who it is meant to resonate with. Tarot does not control or dictate your life. If you hear something that you don't like and think that you were just cemented to that reality, then you're not using these readings correctly. I conduct my readings for confirmation and not answers. So if you hear something for the first time, please do not take that message without receiving further confirmation from your higher self and your spiritual team. Realize that at the end of the day, your free will and what you choose to do with it will determine your outcomes, not a pick a card reading on YouTube. So be responsible and accountable for your own actions in life, and use this as a guide to help decipher the messages that your spiritual team has been trying to send you all along. If you would like to participate in this meditation, again, this is a general reading for the collective. So in order for this reading to resonate with you on a personal level, you have to be personally synced into this reading. To help you do that and to help you select a pile with your third eye and not your physical ones, I will be offering a 60-second meditation. Halfway into it, I will be placing crystals for my clairvoyants that like to pick piles with objects on them. And after the clairvoyant pile selection, there will be a clairaudient selection where I play a different tone for each pile, and you can select a pile based off of which tone resonates with you the most. If you are drawn to another pile, it's because there is another message for you in that pile. So if you are ready, get into a relaxed position, become aware of your entire body, starting with your feet, and work that awareness up in sections from the feet to the head, and then take a deep breath in through your nose for around 5 seconds. Hold that breath for 3 seconds, and then exhale for 6 to 7 seconds. Then ask your guides, spirit, ancestors, the universe, or all of them to connect you to your higher self so you can receive confirming messages from your sacral chakra. So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. On pile 1 is pyrite. On pile 2 is apatite. On pile 3 is hemomorphite. On pile 4 is gold mica. All right, pile one, welcome to your reading. So we're starting off with your tarot cards, and then I'll pull additional oracle cards to check out some messages from your sacral chakra energy center area, the health of it, how it's doing, what have you. So let's just get started. Very first tarot card for you, we have the Hermit. Very interesting. Then we have Judgment in reverse. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Right away, some of you, what's really interesting with this Hermit card over here, for you, pile one, I feel like a lot of you guys, it's almost like, this might be the wrong word, but it's almost like you are harboring a spiritual journey in your sacral chakra area. So I feel like there's this really deeply transformative spiritual journey that you guys are still on. You could have been on it for a long time. It may even feel like at times your spiritual journey goes dormant. Almost like in cycles, like it'll come in cycles. Like sometimes you'll feel as though you are released from the spiritual journey or some sort of transformative process. And then other times it feels like it gets triggered or it revs back up. What I'm actually picking up is like a lot of your life. Like I wouldn't be shocked if your entire incarnation, like your soul came here for a spiritual process. And it planned on spending its entire incarnate experience in a spiritual process. For the Hermit to come out, Judgment in reverse, Wheel of Fortune, literally all three of these cards are major arcana cards. So I feel as though in your sacral chakra area, you guys there's just a lot of wisdom that you guys have gained that's in your sacral chakra area, or your sacral chakra is focusing on a spiritual journey or a spiritual process or some sort of a conscious experience that you guys are on. And I feel like you guys are at this point, like you're consuming a lot of experience or a lot of wisdom, a lot of counsel, a lot of spiritual advice. Like I feel like you guys are literally ingesting it, like eating it. So I feel like, how I grew up anyways, I grew up around all this stuff, not like tarot and stuff, but I grew up around like a lot of like very spiritually gifted people, especially women in my family. And so they always refer to it as your spirit man. And basically it's your spiritual body. And the way that I was raised is like, you have to feed your spirit man. I feel like you guys as spirit man, is full. Like I feel like it eats very, very well, very good almost every day, especially lately. So like maybe in the last few months, maybe all of last year, like 2022 felt like a very spiritual experience for you. But I feel like you guys, like, you consume a lot. Sometimes you probably don't even realize or recognize that you're taking in a lot of spiritual information. I don't know why it keeps coming through that way. Another thing that's coming through is there's a strong desire for something deeper in your sacral chakra area with this Hermit card right here, and right away as well. So some of you may feel like you are dealing with a lot of surface level people, conversations, interactions, careers. You want more of your time or your day to feel purposeful, and this is why you're feeling like this, is because how full or how much you're supplying your spirit man, your spiritual side, your spirit in general, your conscious, your crown area. So you've been feeding yourself a lot of conscious material, a lot of conscious information, or the material and the information that you are consuming and taking in, you're literally digesting it. Your conscious is literally digesting it in ways where it holds on to the things that is helpful, and then it gets rid of all the things that it doesn't necessarily need. And this is why a lot of my pile ones, you're starting to become more hyper aware. You're starting to notice a lot more surface level people, conversations, jobs, experiences, interactions. And this is why a lot of you guys are craving a lot of your day-to-day to feel more purposeful. So you're a very deep soul pile one. You always have been. And that's something that some of you feel like isn't being honored as of late because of your surroundings. For a lot of you, you may have always known that like you're a very deep soul, or this is something that you started to realize recently. Is like, wow, like I don't do good with superficial shit. Like I don't do good on the surface level. I'm not good with, like, some of you may realize that you're not good at like small talk. Maybe you've always sort of realized that like you do very well with just maybe like one or two people. Some of you guys are the type of people where it's like you don't have 20 million friends. You just have maybe one or two really good friends, or you prefer a lot of time alone, especially with this Hermit card right here. You're not really somebody that gets energy from social interactions and from other people. You get a lot of your cup filled when you're alone, spending time alone, time with spirit, time performing magic or rituals or researching and stuff like that. You could be a life path 9 or a 10, maybe even a 22, 11, 22, 33, one of those master numbers. 7 is an extremely spiritual number as well. So you could be one of those life paths. But yeah, you definitely, you need deeper stuff. And it's like I said, something with your surroundings is off in the sense that it's like it's not feeding you, and you guys are aware of that. And the Hermit knows that something is off, for lack of a better word, with his environment. So he leaves everything behind to find the deeper meaning to life, because he knows it's not in. He knows he isn't going to find that deeper meaning in the material realm, in the material world. So he leaves all the material stuff behind. So in mundane terms, some of you are leaning more towards minimizing your life or your lifestyle. A lot of superficial things are being left behind for you. So you may be even donating a lot of your things, a lot of your clothes. Maybe you're downsizing. Maybe you're getting started with charity work. There's a strong desire that I'm picking up as well to give back, to help other people with this Judgment in reverse right here in Wheel of Fortune. Some of you really want to give back to your community or a community in general. Some of you guys want to serve other people in some way. Like you really want to be used in a more purposeful way. Like a lot of my pile ones are craving it. This could even be philanthropic work or humanitarianism, some form of that. But you want to change people's lives with all 3 of these cards, again, being major arcana. And if you feel like your life is keeping you from doing that in any way, this is why there's this like dissociating with your reality with this Judgment in reverse right here. You may feel a deep calling right now, and it has been building up over time. Some of you might not care about the money anymore. Like if you have the latest stuff or the flashiest stuff or the nicest things, there could be some sort of even disaster that has happened that makes you guys really want to give back or do something for other people. Like let's say, for example, there's devastation from a bad storm or something, and you just want to like rush over to that town or that city to help where you can, or donate a lot of things, even if that isn't specifically what some of you get into with this Hermit and this Judgment right here in the Wheel of Fortune. All of these cards for you is talking about less of something, less of a certain type of even food in your diet, or a person in your social circle, or energy in your life, or habit in your routine. This is fewer friends. This Hermit card in Judgment is also talking about your sacral chakra communicating to many of my pile ones, healthier lifestyle choices. And with all of these being major arcana cards, I feel like you guys either have, are, or will make drastic changes in several different areas of your life. The next 3 months is significant for some of you, but you are also being encouraged from your sacral area to get more organized, especially when it comes to what you want to do. So if there is a move that you want to make, start getting prepared for that. Don't wait, hesitate, or procrastinate, because the desire to make some sort of a big lifestyle change, it's only going to grow more and more and more until you actually do it. So there's also a future message here about when you distance yourself from whatever this Hermit card is talking about, because it's going to be different for all of you. But once you do this, your fortune is changing as well, which is why you are feeling this instinctive pull to get away from some sort of energy or a type of person, a type of maybe language, even a type of conversation. It could be a person, job, lifestyle, mindset, city, social circle, community, conversation, like you name it. You have a desire to pull away from that for a reason. And it's because instinctively, intuitively, your sacral chakra area is communicating to you. This right here is sort of obstructing the abundance, the fortune that we're attracting and drawing in with this Wheel of Fortune card over here. And this is why you guys are being drawn to step away from something, to lessen something, minimize in some way, shape, or form. So let's start getting oracle cards. What do I want to start with? I'm not entirely sure if these cards are I don't know if these cards are right for this reading, but we're going to see what we get. We have here coins, good luck. Yeah, this is that Wheel of Fortune energy. As well too, you guys may be seeing some sort of weird signs. You could be seeing them actually in the form of like coins or money or something like that. But symbolically, this energy here is talking about good luck being drawn into your reality, being drawn into your energy field. And this is why you guys are being drawn to get away from certain spaces, certain people. This is card number 10, just like your Wheel of Fortune's card 10. Judgment is also 2 10s. And then we have the Hermit here, card 9. So a lot of you guys, you are, there's a lot of good luck that you are attracting into your life. There's a lot of good karma that you are attracting into your life. And a lot of it has to do because like you are so drawn to, it could be help other people, or it could even be helping yourself. But there's something here that you want to improve, whether it's yourself or other people or both. These improvements that you guys are very like willing and ready to make is what's drawing in so much good luck. And again, you guys may be seeing like a lot of signs. So it could even be, it doesn't have to necessarily show up in like the form of coins, but it could even be like, maybe you're thinking about something and you'll look up and you'll see a sign or a poster that says something very synchronistic. Maybe it's like feathers on the ground. Maybe it's like it's an old heirloom or something falls out of your closet, and you know, after you were thinking about like a grandparent or something, maybe like an old personal item of theirs just like falls out of the closet, and you were like, oh my God, it's going to be a lot of synchronicities that you guys start getting hit up with, especially with this Wheel of Fortune right here. Let's see what's under the deck. We had Do you guys see this? Do you guys see this? Feather, messages. I knew I was picking up with coins, good luck right here, like some sort of messages. I even mentioned feathers. You could be seeing feathers on the ground. And that's card number 7. I mentioned some of you may you may be a life path 7. And look, underneath feather messages is clouds, distractions. This is what your sacral chakra area has been pulling you guys away from. Okay, well, that's that. Yeah, feather messages, it couldn't get any more straightforward and to the point. Is just basically you guys have like a lot of a lot of messages starting to come in. They've been coming in, and this is just basically talking about your discernment being on point. You're literally going to know what's lucky, what's fortunate, what's healthy for you message wise. Like, this is a lot of messages from the other side coming in and telling you like this is going to be someone that is going to help bring you good luck, or this is going to be a job that's going to help bring in good luck, or this is going to be something you need to stay away from. This is going to be a certain type of food that's going to bring in good energy and good fortune for you. I mean, this is down from relationships to your diet and everything else in between. Like, yeah. Wow. Okay. What else do I want to pull? Let's just get, actually, no, let me pull these first. I wasn't going to pull these cards, but I feel drawn to them. So I might only pull these for your pile, but let's get some messages from your angels. Your higher self, your angels. Okay, so we have here, sit this out. Something is not quite right. Wait a little longer before taking action. Timing is off, or it could be the wrong decision. So this is some of the messages that you guys are getting. Like I was saying earlier, looking at your feather messages card right here, some of you guys, there's going to be messages, information coming in about stay away from this food, stay away from that person, stay away from that job, or go towards this person or that food or that job or whatever it may be. Okay, so there's going to be the messages coming through to you guys. You're going to know whether to go for something or to sit something out. And this is card number 76. But this is going to be very, very strict instructions from your spiritual team, from your higher self, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, however it is that you look at them, view them, see them, label them. It's going to be very strict messages about where to go, what to do, what not to do. This is why you have that judgment card right here, and it's in reverse. So this is even going to be judgment when it's talking about the wrong moves. Like, don't make this move, don't make that move, don't date this person, don't talk to that person, don't tell them this idea, or get them involved, or don't. It's very, very strict, very black or white, very either or. Yeah, there's not going to be any gray areas moving forward for a lot of my pile ones. Okay, and then underneath the deck, we have take a risk that fell out in reverse. Card number 25. It says, overcome the fear of taking a risk and your bravery will be met with a reward. Let your intuition guide the way. Exactly. Your intuition is going to guide the way when you need to take a risk versus when you need to sit it out. Wheel of Fortune, judgment in reverse right here. And this is why you guys are, your sacral chakra is trying to pull you away from certain people, things, energy, spaces, because you need to be clear-headed, and you need to be, and when I say clear-headed, I mean intuitively. Your intuition needs to be clear and objective enough to be able to see this is the right move versus this being the wrong move over here. Because sometimes we can get that a little confused. Like for instance, we can think somebody's good for us just because we want to be with them, or just because we think they're attractive, or just because they have a lot of money, or whatever the case may be. And in reality, it's like hindsight being 2020. We might look back on it and be like, that was never a good option for me. But you know, this is about the rose-colored glasses being completely removed. So like I said, it's not going to be a lot of gray area. You guys' discernment, in other words, is going to be on 10. Okay. About what's right for you, what's wrong for you. Let's check out abundance coming in. Since the sacral area deals with a lot of abundance, it deals with what we are drawn to, what we attract. In other words, what we are attracted to, what's attracted to us. Okay. So we have here partnership. So there's a lot coming in about partnership, and that may be why I kept picking up some of you guys getting away from certain types of people. Partnership here says allow healthful, supportive partnerships into your personal life and career, and both parties will benefit as a result. You are receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. Exactly. So this is about you guys being drawn to, why is that not focusing? This is about you guys being drawn to people that are going to improve your life. This is all about you guys, like, you're so focused on improvements right now. This is why there's so many changes being made to your personal life, your routine, maybe even your diet, fill in the blanks. It's trickling down into all these other spaces, even your connections and your partnerships. And the partnerships that you guys are going to be drawn to in the future, there's going to be a reason why you guys know almost immediately if somebody is right for you when it comes to you or not. You're going to know, like, if they are a possible blockage when it comes to your career, your finances, your abundance, your prayers, your intentions, the things that you're trying to draw into your life. You guys are so in alignment with that you're going to know with this Wheel of Fortune right here, that you're going to know for sure, because your discernment's so strong, you're going to know for sure if somebody is potentially a risk factor or some sort of an obstruction when it comes to your good luck and your fortune. Then we have here, let go of guilt. If there's any sort of guilt, so this is for my pile ones that may be having, you may be harboring some sort of guilt in your sacral chakra area. It says, let go of guilt. When you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you have done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn and grow from past mistakes instead of berating yourself for them. This is very important because for my pile ones, if you're struggling with any sort of guilt, it's important to forgive yourself. So a lot of you guys, you may be asking God for forgiveness, or someone else for forgiveness. You guys also have to make sure you're asking yourself for forgiveness, that you forgive yourself, right? That you allow yourself to forgive you. Because if not, it's very possible that you guys, for my pile one struggling with guilt in that sacral area, it's very possible that you guys keep attracting experiences or people into your life that you need to forgive, or that make you feel as though you need to beg for their forgiveness. And you don't want to keep drawing in those sort of experiences. And this is why it's so important to let go of any sort of guilt, any sort of pressure, any sort of regret, any sort of heavy sort of energies and emotions, because if not, they just sort of keep popping back up until we sort of close out that experience and close out that energy. So make sure you guys are releasing and letting go of guilt as well for my pile ones dealing with this, okay? Especially if it's anything from the past, especially if it's anything having to do with finances or your work, because your luck is changing. With this Wheel of Fortune right here, we do have judgment. So some of you guys, you haven't gotten past being able to forgive yourself with this Judgment card in reverse right here for whatever it is that you could have done. It could even be something from a past life. And some of you guys are like, I haven't necessarily done anything wrong in this life, but I just feel like I deserve to pay for something with this Judgment card in reverse right here. And this Judgment in reverse is talking about you guys, some of my pile ones beating yourselves up over something that you don't have to beat yourself up over anymore. You know, you don't have to pay for this karma anymore. Your karma has changed with this Wheel of Fortune right here. It's changed into more fortunate energy. Good luck. This is kind of Wheel of Fortune coming out twice in 2 different decks. So definitely let go of guilt. And then we have here, take a divinely guided chance. There's going to be some sort of a risk that you guys feel like you have to take. And that might be why I picked up the next few months, the next 3 months specifically. There could be some sort of big risk that you guys feel like you have to take. And this is why you guys are being prepared for this right now. Instinctively, intuitively, you're being prepared right now to take some sort of a risk. This is why you guys are, your sacral chakra is like, you know, we need to cleanse, we need to purge ourselves, we need to let go of any sort of guilt, any sort of heaviness, any sort of attachments or bad connections. We need to let go of any sort of unhealthy habits. So when this opportunity or this chance comes up, we can objectively approach this thing, and we're going to know how to move intuitively, spiritually, because our discernment is so strong and it's so healthy, because there is such thing as an unhealthy discernment as well. So this is why, you know, it's very important to make sure we're taking the time to, like I was talking about earlier, feed our spirit man, get to know it, get to understand it, just like your own body. Your body will tell you sometimes, like, hey, I got a vitamin deficiency, like I need more sunlight, I need more vitamin D, I need more X, Y, or Z, whatever the case may be. Your spirit body does the same exact thing. And this is why, because you guys are being prepared for some sort of chance coming up pretty soon. It says here, all positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, just like take a risk right here. It says, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. Okay. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you. This is that hermit energy all day. It says you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. This is that Wheel of Fortune coming out for you. And then underneath the deck, we have gratitude lists. Counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have helps you to be centered in your heart instead of fixated on worries in your mind. What and who are you grateful for right now? Keep focusing upon gratitude, and you will discover amazing generosity. You will discover the amazing generosity of this universe. Let's grab some questions from your sacral chakra area to you. Some questions that it wants to ask you. We have here, where am I going and why? Let's get another one. What is this? What is my life like when it is in balance? Let me get another one though. Oh, okay. Felt like there was another one. It says, what is my worst fear? How does it limit my possibilities in life? There's some sort of triggering fear that's going to come up in the next 3 months when it comes to taking some sort of a chance, when it comes to taking some sort of a calculated risk. This is why take a risk and sit this out. They both came out for you, which they're sort of, it's kind of confrontational energies here, because it's like, do I sit it out or do I go for this? Do I take a leap of faith? Do I take this risk? I feel like for a lot of my pile ones, you guys' biggest fears is taking some sort of a risk and obviously it not working out. But you have good luck on your side with good luck coins, Wheel of Fortune right here, Hermit. Your discernment is strong and you have fortune on your side. So these are some questions that your sacral chakra wants you to focus on. What is your worst fear and how does it limit your possibilities in life and your opportunities? Where am I going and why? This is that Hermit energy, Wheel of Fortune. And then underneath the deck, we have, what is the most important thing for me in this moment? What is the most important thing for you guys in this moment? What do you need in this moment? Like I was saying about your spirit body being very perceptive in the way where it knows how to tell you, like, hey, I need this, you know, like I need this sort of I need X, Y, or Z in my life. And sometimes it'll come in the form, especially spiritually, when your spirit starts talking to you about what it needs. Sometimes it's like, I need you to step away from this job or this relationship or this sort of lifestyle or this type of diet or whatever it may be. And when we don't listen, sometimes it will happen in a way where it may feel as though we didn't have any agency in that decision. It may sort of feel like So relationship just ended up not working out. And your spirit was trying to tell you for like a while, like, I need you to step away from this, or I need you to step away from that, or I need you to do more of this or do more of that. And, you know, maybe we don't listen at the time, but it usually ends up happening anyways. So the crystal that we have coming out for you is a Joite, I guess. I'm going to read it out of the book as a message from your sacral. And underneath the deck, we have Kambaba jasper. Okay, and Adjoite here says, compassionate being. Adjoite brings about a profound spiritual revelation. This is why I kept picking up you guys as like spirit man, spiritual journey, conscious journey, something like that. It says drawing out karmic wounds. Yeah, this is that hermit right here. This crystal reframes cellular memory and past contracts. Okay, makes sense. That's why you guys are being drawn away from certain people. It says self-understanding. You are a being of infinite love and compassion. Find your core of ultimate peace and universal love. Release your toxic emotions, replacing them with forgiveness, compassion, and serenity. This is you guys letting go of that guilt. Oh, we do have the partnership card right here. I forgot about that. Yeah, it says what you have been through allows you to appreciate the pain of another's path. Okay. Do not absorb their pain. Remain dispassionate, detach gracefully, and move on. This is why I picked up in the beginning of you guys' reading that some of you guys, like, your soul came here knowing I'm going to be on some sort of a spiritual journey for my entire incarnate experience. Divination for this crystal says, put down your burdens, knowing you are a being of light, resolve conflicts, and forgive those who wounded you. A lot of messages surrounding forgiveness here, forgiving yourself and others. It says, give someone a second chance, honor your promises, find the best solution for everyone, let your dispassionate compassion encompass all. Charity or volunteer work is indicated. That's what didn't I talk about that earlier? Some of you guys, yeah, you want to get into charity work, or maybe becoming a philanthropist is something that you guys really want to do. It says it right here. Charity or volunteer work is indicated. The healing insight says immersing yourself in the love of the divine automatically leads to health and happiness. Exactly. This is what your sacral chakra is leading you guys to, a more healthy spirit. Frequency of this stone is exceptionally high. The chakra is the third eye, crown, heart, throat, and soul star. And I believe the soul star is above the crown chakra. And the timing for this crystal is Virgo and Aquarius. And the soul path is keeping an open, compassionate heart. And pile one, this is all that I'm seeing for you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, and amazing spirit for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. And until next time, please stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So we're starting off with your tarot cards, and I'm going to be pulling additional oracle cards to see what it is that your sacral chakra wants to communicate to you today. So yeah, let's just get started. The very first card that we have for you is the Four of Scarabs, otherwise known as the Four of Pentacles. Then we have the Sphinx, card 12. This is the Hangman in reverse. I'll show you guys what it looks like upright. And then we have the Three of Swords in reverse. So your cards are pretty straightforward, pile 2. There's a few messages here, but the first thing that I'm picking up is there's definitely it looks like an old, possibly way of life that you guys are holding on to. Some of my pile 2s are still holding on to, wrestling with, working on getting rid of, working on making some sort of changes to your life. But with this Four of Scarabs right here, the Four of Pentacles, as you can see, he's quite stubborn. He's holding on for dear life. And this card is actually ruled by Capricorn. So this could be something in your material world that you're holding on to, like literally, or it just could be more so like in terms of a metaphor where you're holding on to something that you don't necessarily need. It may be feeding you in some way. It may be giving something to you, but it's also a bit painful to hold on to something as well with this Three of Swords in reverse over here. So you're already going to know what I'm talking about as well, pile 2, with this other message here. And we are talking about the sacral area, which does govern intuition, but there is an almost knee-jerk reaction as well to avoidance. From the Four of Pentacles to the Hangman in reverse, there may be something here that you don't want to see or are trying to avoid dealing with or accepting or letting go of, as we can see with this Four of Pentacles. And with the Hangman in reverse, this is a very uncomfortable card, but the discomfort is overshadowed by the enlightenment that he ends up gaining. Now, in this particular deck, the Hangman is really cool because he's about to enter the Sphinx. And the ancient Cometians, they had something called mystery schools, these ancient mystery schools. And we don't know much about them, but what we can theorize is that the students were put through a series of tests in order to gain some sort of experience that cannot be taught. So wisdom cannot be taught. It can't be given to us by another person. It's not something that can be explained, so there's like in school, for instance, like they can teach you mathematics, and you can like remember the answers, but there's a huge difference in memorizing answers versus understanding the formula, understanding equations, how to break them down, how to work with these numbers to get the right answers. So remembering answers is not necessarily useful. It's not really productive. It'll get you through school, but you're not actually learning anything, right? So the Sphinx and the Hangman, it talks about gaining enlightenment and gaining wisdom because this person goes through a very challenging experience. So the Hangman is not an easy card to deal with, and your card is showing up in reverse, which again has a lot to do with your Four of Pentacles in reverse. There is some sort of avoidance here. And it's like a lot of possibly energy being used to avoid something, maybe avoid some sort of trial or a challenge or a test or a painful lesson, especially with this Three of Swords in reverse right here. But again, the discomfort is eclipsed by the enlightenment and the wisdom that is gained through a Hangman experience. And this is why in the traditional Hangman, the RWS, the Rider-Waite-Smith version, it shows a person hanging upside down on a cross, but his facial expression is completely stoic. And it's in a way to say that he can no longer feel his body. And that's why he can't feel his body through that process. So Hangman is literally the card that says the only way out is through. And it's trying to avoid the discomfort that actually brings on the pain with this Three of Swords in reverse right here. So something is basically, there's some sort of a heavy emotion, maybe pain or even trauma, that is trying to flush itself out through your sacral area. And the sacral chakra is like the energetic intestines for our energy body, our light body. So when there's a blockage there, those toxins, they end up coming back up through the energy body. It's like, for example, trying to avoid an uncomfortable conversation in a relationship. So other problems or issues keep arising in its place because what is needing to be said is not being said, or what is needing to be dealt with is not being dealt with. So for some of you, there could be a big issue or problem that is being sedated in your life because everyone's working around it instead of going through it. And with the Hangman being a major arcana card, it's saying there is a life-changing transformation that is waiting for you on the other side of this. And yeah, things will change, but do not fear it. Something is needing to evolve either way within you or in your life somehow. And the biggest issue here is change for this pile. Something is being kept from changing, and your sacral chakra is alerting to some sort of issue with control, maybe being afraid to relinquish control because you don't know how something is going to turn out or transform. You may be concerned about adjusting afterwards, like, I don't know if this is going to work afterwards or how this is going to work after. This Hangman is also talking about fear of the unknown, not knowing how different things will be afterwards, so it's easier to avoid. There's also a fear here as well with this specific Hangman in this deck here. It's like, as you can see, the way he's looking up at the Sphinx, it's like it's this huge wonder, you know, it's like he's looking up at it, is like it's this really big deal. So I feel like a lot of my pile twos, there could be a little bit of intimidation here with some sort of an issue or some sort of a problem. You may be looking at it like it's a really big problem, so I just kind of want to avoid it. I don't feel like really dealing with it right now. I want to keep things the same. Four of Pentacles right here. And the Sphinx, I'm also getting this extremely strong feeling of like, it's like looking into the doorway of something and you can't see through the door. It's like it's pitch black. So you literally can't see what's on the other side of that doorway. And it's very intimidating because it feels like something you're just going to get almost like sucked through. Like it's just going to pull you in, like very strong gravity to it, whatever this issue is. It's like, I think a lot of you know that once I start out on this journey, or once I start dealing with this, or once I acknowledge this, I can't stop. Like once something starts, you can't stop it. There could definitely be a fear of the unknown for sure. And that may be why some of you are looking at this as like, it's just easier to sort of avoid this, because Hangman comes just before the Death card. And death is the ultimate mystery to a three-dimensional being. None of us know for certain what happens. There's all these different ideas about what could or does happen, especially for people that have had near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, astral projections. There's plenty of people that have had these experiences, right? But they all kind of differ in some way. So death is sort of like the door that once you open and take a look behind the curtain, you don't come back. In other words, pile two, this change is meant to be the ultimate mystery in your life right now. A lot of you guys, you are staring down death in a symbolic way. You're staring down some sort of an ending. You're staring at some sort of a closure. You're staring at the end of an era, the end of something. And that's very, very scary because everything's going to change. This Four of Pentacles, this Four of Scarabs is completely going to change. You got these Four of Pentacles figured out, but not after this Hangman experience. So I feel like some of you guys are sort of, you're trying to maybe prolong some sort of an ending just because you're not ready to let go just yet with this Four of Pentacles. And honestly, this is just my human side speaking. I get it. It's not easy to let go. I mean, we can talk about it all day here in the spiritual community. Just let go, just trust. But it's fucking hard. I get it. I hear you. But your sacral chakra is really taut, and it's 222 on my clock right now. Okay. Yeah, it's 222 on my clock. Yeah, some of you, and your pile too. Wow. Yeah, but some of you guys, you're trying to sort of prolong something for now. It could be an actual like physical death that you guys are watching happen. You're watching it occur, maybe with somebody in your life. It could even be with a pet. I don't know why I just saw that in your Three of Swords. I literally saw like a pet. It could have to do with a heart. It could have to do with a loved one in your life. Maybe they have something going on with their heart, like an actual health condition. But for majority of you, this is going to be more so metaphorical, kind of. You know, there's death shows up. Death manifests in an infinite number of ways. And death translates to change. It translates to transformation. It translates to evolution. And you're not meant to know just yet, pile two, how things are going to turn out, which tells me for a few of you, this could concern another person in your life, because it's easy for us to determine how we might respond to something. It's easy for us to make those sort of estimations about like how we're going to handle something. But it takes a level of faith when going through really big life changes like this with another person or another soul, another energy in your life. This could even be with your job, especially with the Four of Pentacles being here. So this process is your sacral chakra trying to heal your ability to trust and to flow through life. And that's why flowing is such a big message in spirituality, because in life, as powerful as we are still surrounded by so many mysteries and agendas and processes taking place in other dimensions and other planes of existence. And we're just literally trying to work our way through this huge soup of possibilities, And so stressing about the unknown, it can feel like punishment, self-blame, even abuse in some ways. So be very careful of that, because you don't want to punish yourself by holding on to something, especially with this Three of Swords in reverse showing up for you right here. This is talking about a pain that you guys are dealing with and trying to prolong something and trying to hold on to something. And your sacral chakra, it really wants you to take strides. It wants you to take this change in strides and in baby steps, in a digestible means. So don't throw yourself into the deep end just yet unless you feel ready for it. But start by practicing these trust falls with the universe. Start slowly working towards whatever it may be that you were trying to avoid or keep from happening. Because as you work through this, your eyes will come wide open to things that you never saw, noticed, or realized before, and it will free you from a lot of heaviness with this Four of Pentacles and this Three of Swords over here. And for those of you that may be going through this in like if there's like a physical death or something, start allowing yourself to grieve. If there's a loved one in your life that you've lost, start allowing yourself to grieve, get through that grieving process. Because there's a journey here for sure for a lot of my pile twos with your Hangman in reverse right here. And it's understandable that you don't want to go through this, because it's like, how am I going to look on the other side? Some of you guys, you're just barely keeping yourself together, maybe emotionally or mentally or even physically, maybe spiritually in some way. But God is on the other side of this saying, like, I got you, like, allow me to be your pillar, allow me to be your balance, allow me to be your foundation. And this is why your sacral chakra is really trying to get a lot of my pile twos to trust a little bit more in the unknown and trusting in this process and this journey. But there's some sort of like, it almost feels like a choice, like you guys don't have a choice but to go through this. And that's never easy. That's never easy. Let's grab some additional messages from your sacral chakra. Okay, we have here fence, boundaries. So there could be some boundaries that some of you guys feel as though someone or something has crossed. Maybe you feel as though you've crossed some of your own boundaries or haven't honored some of your own boundaries with this fence boundaries right here. Card number 26. Another sort of thing that I'm picking up is, again, with your Four of Pentacles, getting a little bit deeper into this fence boundaries card, is like boundaries are breaking down because so many things are changing. I feel like the bounds of you guys' reality is just bending in ways where you can't keep things the same. It's like a loss of control that's what I'm trying to say with this fence boundaries card right here. Underneath the deck here, we have, yin yang balance. Yeah, card number 4. This is what I was kind of picking up at the end of your message, where I feel like God, the universe, however it is that you label it, is on the other side saying, like, allow me to be your balance, allow me to guide you through this so I can help you maintain some sense of balance in your life and boundaries in your life. And I feel like this is why a lot of you guys are sort of trying to hold off on this transformational experience or process, is because it's like your boundaries are going to change. Like, for example, this can be as deep or as mundane as you want it to go, or as it applies in your life. But like, for example, this is like somebody taking a pay cut because maybe they're changing jobs or something. And it's like, okay, well, now the boundaries of my finances have to change. The amount of money that I was spending before has got to change. Or this is somebody making more money where they have to adjust to, okay, my lifestyle is changing in the sense that now I can afford better quality things, or now my taxes cost more money, or now the home that I just moved into is going to cost more money, and I have to get used to paying out more money. Like everything is changing because of this one situation with this hangman down here. And I feel like that's what some of you guys are working on adjusting to. But the balance here is going to really come from you guys allowing yourself to move through this process, allowing yourself to go through this process with the yin yang balance card right here. I feel like balance is going to help you guys adjust or create new boundaries as well. And of course, this Fence Boundaries card could be talking about some of my pile 2s needing better boundaries. So this could even be the proverbial death or transformation or change coming into some of you guys' relationships where, like, let's just say, for instance, you make a new boundary with your partner. Like, it could even be an ultimatum, the way that this Fence Boundaries card is sounding, and especially with this Sphinx or this Hangman card in the middle right here, 3 of Swords in reverse. Like, let's just say, for the perfect example for this is like somebody really wants to get married and their partner is just dragging their damn feet. So they're like, okay, if I give my person an ultimatum, that could cause the end of our relationship. 3 of Swords in reverse. This could change everything. Sphinx, Hangman in reverse. Should I just keep things the same? 4 of Pentacles, just keep dealing with the relationship as is, even though I really want to be married, or even though I really want to live with my partner, even though I want more commitment out of them. Once we have this conversation, we can't go back. But it's going to bring more balance into your life. So this yin yang balance card is also talking about this massive transformation that's going to permanently change something in your life, is going to bring in the type of balance that you have never seen in your life as well, pile 2. 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles is probably the most balanced card, one of the most balanced cards in tarot besides the Emperor, because it's a 4, think about 4 legs on a table. And then it's the Pentacles. Pentacles is the most solid element in tarot. So there is more balance coming into your life as long as you allow this transformational process to occur. But something has to evolve. Something has to evolve here. And if you keep trying to avoid this evolution, you're actually almost keeping balance from setting in, from coming into your life. So it's really interesting. It's like the more boundaries you have, the more balance is going to come into your life. And more boundaries, it may feel a little intimidating or almost threatening to maybe say no a little bit more, or be more vocal about what you need, how you feel. It may feel a little bit like confrontational. 3 of Swords in reverse. Swords talks about communication. So this could even be you guys making boundaries. This could be talking about you guys communicating the type of boundaries that you need with someone or with a certain situation. This could be having like a conversation with like your job or something, and being like, okay, this could go really great or not. Okay, so a message from your angels here that we have is an invitation. Step through the golden portal. This is that Sphinx, the Hangman right here, and into your own mastery to explore other dimensions. You are invited and you are ready. So this is an invitation. Again, like I was saying with the Sphinx card right here, and if you really look at it, he's like staring at this doorway. And he is like a strong pull to this doorway, but showing up in reverse, it's like someone's trying to keep that. They're trying to somebody's almost like trying to refuse or reject this process, this enlightenment. And this is not necessarily a process that you can decline. It says it's an invitation right here, because that's exactly what the Hangman is. It's an invitation. But for my pile 2s, for a lot of you guys, this feels like something that you almost don't have a choice, at least on my end as the reader. I don't know your personal life, but it feels like on my end, it feels like something that you guys don't have any choice but to go through it. Like maybe you can put it off for a little bit, but you have to eventually, kind of like taxes, it's like, You can put it off to a certain time, but eventually your ass has got to file. So it's kind of like that sort of situation. Let's see, underneath the deck, we have new light. Someone or something in your life needs to be seen in a different light. Observe things that you may have missed. This is what this Sphinx hangman process is trying to offer you, some sort of a new light. So this is an invitation from your life, from the universe, from the Most High, from your higher self, that your sacral chakra is being drawn towards, is being pulled towards, and it's trying to offer new light. Now, when we talk about light esoterically, light is illumination. So it's information, it's clarity that comes in when we're talking about light in an esoteric manner. We're talking about something becoming more illuminated, us becoming more aware of something, our consciousness ascending, us gaining some sort of insight or wisdom or visibility where there was none before, us developing more clarity, more understanding. Okay, so this is what's trying to come in. It's an invitation for more light. But because you can't see beyond that doorway, you don't know what's back there. It's difficult to trust. And this is what your sacral chakra is trying to get you to do, is trying to get you to really trust and lean more into this process. Okay, let's grab additional messages. Okay, we have here words of abundance. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms, and that is what you attract for yourself and others. So words of abundance. Like I sort of mentioned with your Three of Swords down here, Swords does talk about communication, information, our words, how we express ourselves verbally. So make sure you're using words of abundance. So try, if you're working on developing more trust in some sort of a situation that you know you sort of have to go through, or if you're working on developing more faith, make sure you're using words of faith. Like, I know this is going to work out for my highest and greatest good. I know everything's going to turn around in my favor. I know that this is meant to happen for me. It's not happening to me, but for me. So you may even need to develop more boundaries around how you communicate and the words that you're saying. Make sure you balance out any sort of negative view with more optimism, a bit more like this yin yang balance right here. So instead of, if you need to trust some sort of experience or process that you're about to go through, stop trying to anticipate everything that could go wrong. Three of Swords in reverse. Stop seeing your current situation in this Four of Pentacles sort of space like, I like the way that everything is right now, or at least everything, the way that everything is right now, I know what it is. At least this I can trust. Sort of communicate that same thing to yourself about your future, the future that's very unknown for you right now. For a lot of you guys, it's like a big question mark over some sort of future. And then we have underneath the deck, ask for your needs to be met. God and the angels can come to your aid only if you make a free will choice to be helped. And it begins with asking. It doesn't matter how you ask God for help, but only that you do so. The same holds true with clearly asking other people to assist you. Yeah. So this is the trust that I feel like a lot of my pile twos, your sacral chakra is trying to communicate to you. Like, trust more in your spiritual team, trust more in your angels, trust more in the universe, trust more in your guides, trust more in God, trust more in your higher self, trust more in your own intuition. Build more boundaries around faith. So some of you guys are placing your faith in the wrong places. Maybe you're placing it in your job. Maybe you're placing it in your bank account. Maybe you're placing it in something external, and your sacral chakra is trying to say, let's put more trust into the self versus this external sort of situation that can just change on a dime. So you can avoid some sort of anxiety when it comes to change. Let's grab some questions from your sacral chakra, some questions that your sacral area may want you to ask. What kind of advice on life would I give to my younger self? Let's grab another one. And then we have, What kind of feelings am I feeling right now? What kind of metaphors can I find to describe my feelings? So really focusing, what are you feeling right now? Focusing on your own emotions. That may be how you find some balance. Focus on writing too. Writing is really powerful in terms of helping us to sort of organize our feelings and what we're feeling at the moment. And then we have here, what is the worst that could happen if I let go of things that no longer serve me? This is that Four of Pentacles. This is something that your sacral chakra really wants to ask you. What would happen if you just let go? And then a final message. A final message from your sacral area. We have graphic smoky quartz, and then underneath the deck we have rhodozite. So I'm going to read graphic smoky quartz out of the book. One second. Okay, and this card, or this stone, is otherwise known as the stabilizer, so yin-yang balance. It says graphic smoky quartz supports all the structures in the body, removing toxic debris and traumatic memories. It keeps you grounded and balanced in physical incarnation while exploring other dimensions. Yeah, this is what that fence boundaries card is talking about. Like I said, I was picking up anyways, like a little bit deeper of a message with this boundaries. It feels sort of like boundaries when it comes to like your reality. You know, like there's a lot of changes happening dimensionally with you, pile 2. And I feel like it's just like a lot of spiritual changes. So yeah, this is talking about, this stone is talking about being grounded in the physical incarnation in your 3D incarnation while exploring other dimensions like the spiritual dimensions. The self-understanding says lack of trust in yourself. What have I been saying your whole reading? Your sacral chakra wants you to develop more trust in the universe, more trust in yourself. It says here, lack of trust in yourself and other people creates psychological barriers that lie at the heart of your dis-ease. This is that 3 of Swords right here. It says your self-esteem is low, creating a deficient immune system. Memories of old traumas have subtly amended your ancestral DNA. It says at a deep level, you've been compressed and limited. Allow yourself to expand again. So your sacral chakra is trying to get you to open up and expand again. And when we expand, we end up being liberated from any sort of emotions or energies or spirits or attachments that have been compressing us in a way or suppressing us. This is what your Four of Pentacles is alluding to right here. Four of Pentacles is all about, you see how he's sort of hunched over right here with this Four of Pentacles. He's very limited because he's not allowing himself to expand and allow in new pentacles, new opportunities, new experiences. So it says here, divination, undertake a shamanic journey into the unseen worlds in search of healing. This is that Sphinx, this is that hangman journey. That's the invitation here. It says there you will find the underlying causes of dis-ease and outdated soul imperatives that are affecting your well-being. Offer yourself the gift of transformation. This is what I was talking about, your whole reading with the hangman right here. This is a transformation that you guys are going to end up gaining a lot of wisdom and insight. The healing insight for this stone says healing is found in the darkest depths of yourself, not in external forces. This is exactly what I said, talking about your trust is, some of you guys have placed your trust in something external, and your sacral chakra wants you to bring more of that trust to an internal space. It says the frequency for the stone is earthy and high, chakra is all, timing is autumn, and the soul path is exploring taboos, treading where others fear to tread. This is that hangman card right here. And you guys, pile 2, this is all that I'm seeing for you guys as far as a message from your sacral chakra. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, and amazing spirit for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. And until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, you guys. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we're starting with your tarot cards, and I'm going to be checking out some additional oracle cards as well to see what messages it is that your sacral chakra has been trying to communicate to you, or it wants you to know. So let's get started. Very first card that we have for you is the 6 of Wands. Got a strong start. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. And then the 3 of Swords in reverse. With your Queen of Pentacles, I literally heard finish what you started. Finish what you started. I don't know what that means. Anyways, whatever that may be, I don't know, maybe something will come up as we dive into your reading. But pile 3, your sacral chakra has been either encouraging you for sure to have more confidence in yourself with the 6 of Wands right here, or it has been cheering you on developing like more boldness somewhere. This is also talking about a lot of you guys is like increasing your self-esteem with the 6 of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles right here. It's talking about a change in your vibration as well, where you guys have been or will be projecting waves of positivity into the universe that will return to you in the form of success, abundance, and prosperity with this Queen of Pentacles right here, as well as even healing, forgiveness, empathy, and strength with the 3 of Swords in reverse. Your sacral chakra, it's interesting because one of the other piles that had the 3 of Swords also came out for that pile in reverse, literally in the same exact position, totally different energy. And what I'm picking up in your pile is like your 3 of Swords in reverse is talking about you guys really dealing with something in the sense that it's like you're actively repairing yourself, repairing some part of your life, repairing your emotional health, your mental health, something like that, your physical health maybe. But yeah, your sacral chakra is really healthy or is greatly improving depending on whatever work you guys have been doing on yourself or are doing right now. It's been a slow and steady process for some of you with this Queen of Pentacles here, 3 of Swords in reverse, but you are for sure making a lot of headway. Your sacral chakra is also talking about you guys successfully rewiring your own psychology with this 3 of Swords in reverse. You've obviously had your heart broken in the past, but you were triumphing over any sort of misery, unhappiness, emotional torment, or grief that you were dealing with in the past. And like I said, it's so funny to me because another pile also had this 3 of Swords card in reverse. And the energy was so different in that pile with a whole different message. And so much of it had to do with them not wanting to go through or to deal with something. Some of you guys, you may have been drawn to that pile. And so it could have a sort of, if some of you were drawn to that other pile, you're going to know exactly which pile I'm talking about. But if you were drawn to that other pile, it's because your sacral chakra is communicating to you in a way where it's talking about like past, present, future. Because in your pile 3, you guys did not avoid your heartache like at all. You really worked through it or are working through it as far as what I'm seeing here as the reader. For those of you that have been spending more time alone or less time with people in this 3 of Swords energy, the environment that you are making internally with this Queen of Pentacles is about to be reflected externally if it has not already. You had to really love and value yourself to rebuild your self-esteem or to allow yourself to grieve and then heal with this 3 of Swords. A lot of people may be seeing or witnessing you from this space with the 6 of Wands, but you are more settled in this Queen of Pentacles type of space or energy, and it's beginning to manifest in that way. So your sacral chakra is very healthy, or you are improving the health of this energy center. Whatever you are doing, improving your diet, counseling, shedding the past, or any sort of heavy energy, maybe spiritual work, shadow work, whatever you want to call it, whatever you're doing or have been doing, it's really cleaned your emotional energy center. Some of you have been heavily at work on your subconscious as well, or even your unconscious space. And again, it's having strong effects on the health of your emotional body, where this 3 of Swords is becoming 6 of Wands energy because of how well you've been taking care of yourself. If you don't feel like you are in this place just yet, and you are intuitively still drawn to this pile, it has everything to do with self-care. And self-care sounds so simple, but self-care takes a lot of work and effort, especially during times of heartbreak, like with this 3 of Swords. It's not easy to keep taking care of yourself when you're processing emotional pain. And that's why self-care is one of the first things to go during hard times, because many of us don't view self-care as like this essential thing. We don't view it as a necessity. And when we are processing pain, we usually then resort to survival mode, just getting by or just getting through the day. So as simple as self-care sounds, it's a powerful tool in terms of healing because we need it. And self-care can look like a lot of different things. Most of the time, it'll look like the type of chore or routine that we don't feel like doing, or we don't think we need to do it or deserve to do it. And so again, it's a form of self-love, and self-love can feel confrontational, wrong, or even exhausting when we're not in a certain headspace. So self-care can look like therapy, exercise, a healthier diet, more water, a skincare routine, going to sleep earlier, a shopping trip, pampering yourself, traveling, hanging out with loved ones. Whatever the activity, it will fill your cup, and sometimes it won't spark this feeling where it's like instant gratification, sort of like how exercise and healthier eating can have these like gradual effects. But the long-term impacts where we slowly feel this increase in our quality of life, it is so palpable, and you will notice it everywhere with this Queen of Pentacles. Self-care, if you are not doing it now, ask yourself, what's some ways that I can give to me? And if you have been committed to self-care, keep going, because there's really big payoffs with this pile 3, like massive payoffs with this, especially in the sense that like you look like the 6 of Wands and this Queen of Pentacles. You look like somebody that's winning. You look like somebody that's literally glowing. Your 6 of Wands is like glowing. So your aura may have even like changed colors recently. It may be more golden, yellowish is what I'm kind of seeing, picking up from you, is just like this almost golden, yellow, orange type of vibe, but it's like you're literally glowing. You look like you're glowing. A lot of my pile 3s, or you're going to look that way. And so people are going to perceive you as like the 6 of Wands. You may notice that at this time right now, or in the near future, a lot of people, like maybe they do a double take when you're out like in public or something. You may notice that a lot of people are maybe hitting on you, trying to get your number, trying to just get to know you on like a platonic level. People may hit you up and go like, after you're done having conversations with them, like, do you counsel people or advise people or mentor people? Like, people are going to try to stick around you a lot. They may call you, text you a lot, and you're kind of in this Queen of Pentacles space where you're really focused on one thing. You're just really focused on yourself. You're kind of keeping your head down, working on yourself, working on feeling good. Like, that's a huge priority for a lot of my pile 3s. But what the effects that it's having on you vibrationally with the 6 of Wands over here is that it's like drawing in a lot of people, or drawing in a lot of energies. Could even be like drawing in a lot of attention, stuff like that. And so it's funny because some of you guys may be like a little repulsed by the attention with this Queen of Pentacles here, 3 of Swords in reverse, where it's like you're not trying to draw it in, is what I'm picking up. It's like you're not trying to draw in any sort of extra attention. You're really loving, especially for those of my pile 3s where maybe, like I said, maybe you're spending more time by yourself. A lot of you guys are starting to love that, or you're really into spending more time alone right now. And it's weird because it's like, the moment that you get really focused on you, or you start really loving spending time by yourself, is when you're going to notice a lot of people trying to spend more time with you, trying to be under you all the time, like calling you all the time, texting you all the time, wanting to hang out all the time. Or just when you're out, you may notice that you just draw a lot more people in, where people are, it's weird. It's like they're trying to kick up a conversation with you, maybe even trying to work with you, trying to hang out with you. It's like people want to be in your energy a lot with the 6 of Wands right here. And like I said, I'm just picking up a lot of my pile 3s are more so in this Queen of Pentacles space right here. So a lot of you may even be working on this 3 of Swords in reverse. You just may be very focused on healing, focused on getting to a balanced space, focused on getting to a healthy space right now, a space where you're really happy, a space where you have like a lot of energy and stuff like that. And that may be why you're sort of like, kind of like do not disturb, even though people are not getting the memo. They're not getting the memo, but a lot of you guys are kind of like, I'm unavailable right now. Like, no, I'm not. I don't want to go out on a date. No, I don't feel like hanging out. No, I don't need a job. No, I don't want X, Y, or Z, because you're focused on building something for you right now. And it could be building your finances, building your self-esteem. It could be building your confidence. It could be building your knowledge on something, your charisma. It could be fill in the blanks. And you guys are really focused on that. But again, it's like there's all these souls and energies being drawn to you. So you may start to notice that very soon here if you haven't already. Let's start grabbing some other messages from your sacral area. Okay, this is what it is. We have here rainbow hope. this is what it is. This is why a lot of people are going to be drawn to you or are drawn to you right now, because you're giving a lot of people hope. It might not even be from you saying anything. It's just something about your energy, something about being around you. And I feel like it's because a lot of you guys are either just generating higher vibrations, you're generating more optimism, you're a lot more positive now, or it's something about your vibration. It feels hopeful, it feels optimistic, it feels positive, it feels high quality. And this is why a lot of people want to be around it. Almost kind of like the idea of a rainbow. It's like you can chase a rainbow, but you're never going to find it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just an effect of, what is it? The light rays or whatever a rainbow is. It's not like this physical, tangible thing, but and that's what I'm picking up with you guys, is like people are trying to chase you and you're not available. You're not tangible. They're not able to actually, like, if people could just put you in a jar and contain you and like keep you, they would. I don't know why it's coming through that way, but this is what you feel like. And it's because your energy feels so good, you know? This is what happens when your sacral chakra, exactly. When your sacral chakra is popping like this is what happens. We have here peace, harmony. Like I said, a lot of you guys, as your sacral chakra is super healthy, it's in this very peaceful, harmonious space. It's in this very beautiful, hopeful space, rainbow, all the colors of the rainbow. It's like something about you is really, really vibrationally just beautiful and very attractive. And it's because you have, when people are peaceful, internally peaceful, they don't just say they're peaceful, because there's plenty of demons out here claiming like, oh my God, I hate drama, I'm like the most peaceful person ever, you know, love and light. But, you know, when people are truly like internally peaceful and harmonious, everything and everyone can feel it. Like kids can feel it, animals can feel it. And you know, if kids and animals like you, something's up. Like you're really just internally, you're pretty peaceful. Because animals and kids, they have zero filter. They don't play. They're just like, nope, don't like you, or, you know, or they'll be very drawn to you. But this is what I'm getting with you guys. Just peace, harmony, a lot of hope. You guys may be giving a lot of people hope. You guys may make people feel more at peace, more harmonious. You may notice that there's a lot of people that people may say to you now or coming up in the future that, like, you know, you make me feel so calm. You make me feel calm. You make me feel relaxed. And they really like that. And you're like, Queen of Pentacles, really? Didn't even notice. Like, this is so funny to me, because some of my pile threes, you treat people like they're like non-factors, and they can't get enough of it. It's kind of funny. All right, let's grab some additional messages here from your higher self, from your angels. All right, so we have here, love is in the air. Yeah, we already knew that. Let falling in love teach you divine lessons. It's worth working on, but honest conversations will be the key to overcoming differences. Yeah, this is what people are feeling with you. Some of you guys, you may be feeling like love is in the air. And you may be feeling that because it's like your vibration is so damn attractive that you just feel really like good. You feel really good. You may feel like the hottest person on the planet and it's because it's like you're like vibrationally, when we get into that frequency, you know, we know we're the shit. And it's just, it can come off as though it's like love is in the air sort of idea or situation. But a lot of you guys as well, you may even be having like honest conversations with people. You may be keeping it like really real with people, and they just, again, they can't get enough of it. Like, I don't know. Some people they're very drawn to you because you're blunt and you're to the point and you tell them the truth, whether it hurts their feelings or not. And again, they can't get enough of it. It's just, I don't know. We also have here, be watchful, be on alert and aware of your surroundings. There's a red flag that you are ignoring. Allow the truth to be revealed. I feel like you guys are allowing whatever truths around you to be revealed because you're really not focused on uncovering some sort of a truth. I feel like you guys are in this place, peace and harmony internally. So in terms of being watchful, as far as these being messages from like your spiritual team and your higher self, I kind of feel like this is your higher self saying that it's watching something or is being watchful. So some of you may have someone or something around you, some sort of energy around you or a situation around you that isn't as straightforward. Maybe it doesn't have a lot of integrity. Maybe it's trying to conceal something. But with this be watchful card, I kind of feel like it's going to come out either which way. I feel like it's going to come out without you guys having to be paranoid and be on guard. Like I said, I feel like you guys are very focused on one sort of thing right now. I feel like you guys are very focused on you right now, very main character type of energy. And it's just like, whatever anyone else is doing, what's that got to do with me? It ain't got nothing to do with me. And you're just sort of allowing that to happen, especially with this 3 of Swords in reverse showing up in your reading. You know, this is sort of like whatever needs to come out, whatever needs to be revealed, it will be revealed. So I feel like this be watchful card is kind of your spiritual team saying that they're watching something for you, or they're being very watchful. This may even be why too, some of you guys, because I picked that up a little bit earlier, that some of you guys, you're almost trying to keep certain people or energies away from you. You're almost maybe trying to push them away. Oh, look at that. Look at what's underneath. Third party, someone you're not aware of, will affect the outcome. Everything will unfold for the greatest good for all involved. That's why I was probably picking that up. So some of you guys, you're focused on you because it may be because there's some people around you that you don't trust. Maybe you know they're not trustworthy. Maybe you know better than to trust them. So with this be watchful card, my pile 3s, you guys have already clocked you already know who's trustworthy around you and who isn't. Third party, you already know who's sneaky, you already know who's suspect, you already know who's your equal with this Queen of Pentacles right here. And that's why a lot of you guys, you're focusing on yourself. You're not I did say that earlier. You're not I'm not available. Sorry. Like, it's like you guys just sort of know who's on your level and who isn't. So we have here third party underneath the deck. And we do have the 3 of Swords right here in reverse, which can sometimes talk about a third party situation. So some of you may be focusing on yourself right now because you're releasing some sort of a situation where someone maybe keeps entertaining other people. Maybe they keep trying to play on you like you're not enough. And so you're not focusing on that situation. You're pulling away from that situation and focusing on yourself with this Queen of Pentacles right here. And it could be somebody that keeps trying to maybe come into your life and saying like, you know, like, you can trust me, you're all I want, yada, yada, yada. And you're not available. Something about you is not available. And with love is in the air, it could definitely be talking about like a romantic situation, but it could even be like a friend situation, a job situation, any sort of situation where you just know that like somebody isn't who they claim to be. They're not who they say they are. In other words, you're very good at sniffing out bullshit, pile 3. And that's because your sacral chakra, it really puts you on to who's a liar, who's telling the truth, who is treating you like this Queen of Pentacles, who's treating you like a queen, who's treating you like a king, who's treating you as though you're sacred and that you're something to be honored and celebrated with the 6 of Wands right here, and who isn't doing that. So I feel like you guys have peeped a lot of stuff with this be watchful card. It could even be with these third party sort of situations. And you guys are just staying away from any sort of drama because this is all you want. All you want in your life is peace and harmony. And you're not dealing with people that are weirdos, where some people are so weird. They like running around, sneaking around, cheating, lying, stealing, doing weird shit. You know, like some people, they're just that bored in their lives that they enjoy drama and chaos. Yeah, that's why I was okay. Maybe that's why I was sort of laughing about that idea where some people are just like, I'm so peaceful, I'm so, you know, love and light, and they're like literal demons. So yeah, some of you guys, like you say that you're a peaceful person. You say that you have a lot of integrity. You say that you're a very honest person. You're just very aware of who is not self-aware, pile 3, because you guys are so self-aware with your Queen of Pentacles. And I feel like you guys don't judge it. I feel like you guys let people lie to themselves. I feel like you guys let people do it. You either let them do it or you tell them very bluntly, like, no, you're not. No, you are a liar. You're a cheater. You're somebody that is messy. Either you tell them straight up to their face, or you guys just sort of have peeped who people are, and you just kind of, you make your boundaries and you stay away. With this Queen of Pentacles, very self-focused. Let's grab some questions that your sacral chakra wants you to ask yourself or focus on. What larger entity am I a part of? So these are questions for you guys. And let's grab another one. We also have here, is there something in my life that makes me forget time while I am doing it? What is it? It kind of reminds me of your Queen of Pentacles and your Six of Wands right here, where it's just like you're very focused on just you winning and you being in this very peaceful, harmonious, hopeful sort of place. You're very focused on high quality, not low quality, unaware situations and people. And underneath the deck, we have, what is my biggest dream? What can I do today to move closer to that dream? So you guys are also moving closer to your dreams as well, that your sacral chakra has been trying to tell you guys about, or it wants you guys to stay focused on, or these dreams that you guys are moving towards with the Six of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Like I said, you guys are very focused on building something. And so this other stuff, be watchful, all that, I feel like you guys are just like, I don't have time to be watchful. And if you have to watch somebody, if you have to wonder if you guys have to ask, I feel like you guys are just dropping the question. If I got to ask about you, I'm dropping your ass, like, period. I don't have time for it. That's what I feel like the attitude is for a lot of my pile 3s. Grabbing some messages from your angels, we have here, okay, makes sense. Detox your friendships and focus on your priorities. Queen of Pentacles, exactly. Detox your friendships says your abundance flow is being affected by the people with whom you are spending time. So be discerning about your associations and relationships, like be watchful right here. Choose to be with people who are inspiring, generous, and supportive. This is at six of Wands. So yeah, that's what I feel like you guys are doing with detox your friendships. Three of Swords in reverse, love is in the air. You guys are just not available. You're not available for a very specific type of person. You're not available for unaware people. You're not available for messy people. You're not available for people who are always, they're hysterical. They're involved in some sort of drama. They're trying to put you in third-party situations. You know, like I said, some people, they're just like, they are so messy that they enjoy disturbing people's peace. That is how some people are straight up weirdos out here. And I feel like a lot of my pile 3s, I feel like a lot of you guys are just like, you have clear sight on who those weirdos are and you just stay away from them. And so a lot of you guys, you have very extremely high standards in terms of like who can be in your inner circle. Three of Swords in reverse. Six of Wands, you may have like a lot of people around you. They really appreciate you. They're very inspired by you, but y'all don't let everybody in with this Queen of Pentacles right here, because you guys have something that's actually like high quality. You're actually high quality. So you don't let everybody, you know, have a piece of you. Then we have focus on your priorities. Where you put your focus is where you receive your outcome. This is that Queen of Pentacles, Six of Wands. This is why you guys are not focusing on Three of Swords and Three of Swords situations and energies. It says your priorities are calling to you, which may produce a feeling of anxiety unless you give them the time and attention they and you deserve. Even a small amount of time devoted to your priorities will help you feel better and more confident. Literally the definition of devotion in tarot would be the Queen of Pentacles. You see how she's just focusing on this one pentacle? She is literally like the definition of devotion. Okay, and then underneath the deck, we have successful funding. It says your idea is divinely guided and supported by the same infinite wisdom of God that gave you the idea. Do not allow money concerns to prevent you from turning it turning it into reality. Crowdfunding, partnerships, and other investments are available to help you. This is that Six of Wands. This is why I was picking up earlier. Some people may be eager to like work with you or do something with you, or just like, yeah, always be around you or talking to you or like in your good graces or in your circle. They see you as like a very successful endeavor, business endeavor. But with successful funding, you guys are also going to find successful funds. So your sacral chakra is also leading you guys. This is why your attraction is so strong right now, in terms of like people being attracted to you, but you not really being attracted to them, is because you guys you're only able to really connect with people on your level with this Queen of Pentacles right here, Six of Wands. And that's because there's only certain people that are able to help you build. And that's the only thing that you guys are willing to bring into your life right now, is people that are going to help you build, not people that want to bring in drama and weird shit. But yeah, I feel like a lot of you guys have left some sort of friendships, relationships, people in your past. Detox your friendships. Three Swords in reverse, Queen of Pentacles. This may be why you guys are really focused on just yourself right now, and you're not available, because you're ridding yourself of like, you've rid yourself of a lot of toxic energies, people, connections, relationships, people that kept you in third-party situations or just drama-filled situations. It was always messy. It was always something going on. It was just a waste of your energy. And you knew that with your Queen of Pentacles. And so it's like these other energies can't afford you now, because you're just like, listen, I'm gonna need you consciously to be on my level. I'm gonna need you to emotionally be on my level. I'm gonna need your maturity to be on my level in order for you to be able to afford time with me. Like, not in terms of like money, but like in terms of energy. I'm gonna need your energy to be so damn high and matched to me and aligned to me that it's like a lot of people won't be able to afford you, pile 3. And y'all know that you were making yourself very high quality in terms of energy even. And it's going to start even reflecting in the 3D realm, materially, money-wise, financially, professionally. It's literally going to start manifesting in that way, where it's like people won't be able to necessarily afford you. They're going to have to pay a lot of money to afford you with whatever it is that you do. Okay. See a final message from your sacral chakra. We have Kambaba Jasper. Oh, I think this was underneath the deck for, I don't remember which pile. Oh, it could have been that other pile that some of you may have seen. Underneath the deck that we have Quantum Quattro. So I'm going to read Kambaba Jasper out of the book. 1 second. And Kambaba Jasper here says, this is the Stone of Ancient Echoes. It says Kambaba Jasper attunes your personal biorhythms to the natural cycles of the planet. This crystal also facilitates deep clearing of your karmic body and the ancestral line. Self-understanding says, when you live in your head rather than the physical world, your cellular structure becomes unstable and your metabolism is thrown off balance. You may not be assimilating oxygen or nutrients such as minerals and vitamins. Remember that ideas are nutrients too. So true. This could be what that successful venture was talking about as well. I forget where it was. Oh no, successful funding. Yeah. But it says disruption of your autonomic nervous and immune systems may be caused by ancient traumas and family dramas. Divination here, this is at 3 of Swords in reverse. You guys just really stepping away from traumas, pains, just dropping these past situations, people, painful situations and experiences and connections. Divination for the stone says getting in touch with the ancestors and understanding the processes of creation helps you to recognize the value of recycling the past to create a more potent future. Check out what is passed down the ancestral line and utilize homeopathic healing for miasms such as tuberculosis. Healing Insight says by changing how you view things, you dramatically improve your well-being. This is that Queen of Pentacles. This is why you guys are only focused on or only really paying attention to yourself. You have more focus on yourself lately, or will be moving into that space. Frequency for the stone is earthy. The chakra that this stone deals with is the base, heart, alta, major, and casual. The timing for the stone is winter, and the soul path is reconnecting to ancient wisdom and the roots of being. And pile 3, this is all that I'm saying for you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, and amazing spirit for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. And until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys. All right, pile 4, welcome to your reading. So we are going to get started off with your tarot cards to check out the messages that your sacral chakra has been trying to communicate to you energetically. So let's get started. Very first tarot card that we have for you is the 8 of Cups in reverse. Then we have the Emperor, also in reverse. And then we have the 4 of Swords upright. So it's interesting. We do have 2 4s here. The Emperor is a major arcana 4. And the major arcana cards, they rule the minor arcana cards. So the Emperor rules the minor arcana 4s, so the 4 swords. But we have 2 4s here. Major arcana 4s in reverse. Your minor arcana 4 of swords is upright. And then we have an 8 of cups over here. So there is something that energetically already I can kind of tell or pick up on the fact that and your pile 4. It's just setting in. So there is something here that I'm picking up energetically for you, pile 4, where it's like you guys want to let go of something, you want to drop something, you want to be relieved of something, you want to be liberated or freed from something. But there's like a struggle with that. It's like a conflict. So there's something as well, pile 4, that you've been actively working on not seeing. You don't want this energy or this memory with the 8 of Cups in your current reality with the 4 of Swords right here. And it possibly has to do with your father, a father figure, a masculine character in your life. It could even be like an ex, somebody that you had a relationship with, whether it was like, it could have been romantic, could have even been a friend, could have been like a business associate. But this feels like a very prominent person in your life. And I'm hearing the word impressed. Whoever this Emperor masculine figure character is, they impressed certain ideals upon you with this 4 of Swords, that it's like you've had to put extra energy into not believing these viewpoints and ideologies. You've had to spend extra time and energy to not see life in the way that they did. And your sacral chakra is talking about this really deep need or desire that some of you have to extract this experience from your life story. It's like you want to surgically remove this from your life story, even from your history. So some of you could be working a lot right now on like karmic healing, like generational, intergenerational healing, things like that, ancestral healing. You could be working on something like that, something within your lineage, healing something within your family line. But for some of you, your childhood, it may be very difficult to remember too, either because it's very triggering or it's literally like a blank space, the way that it's like being shown to me here. Like you actually cannot remember some of your childhood maybe, or some of your earlier years. There could be a really difficult traumatic experience that you had. You only remember in pieces. You only remember in bits and pieces between this 8 of Cups to this 4 of Swords over here. It's like there's a, I don't know. It's like there's lapses in your memory with some sort of experience, painful experience. Could have been a traumatic one. But yeah, some of you could have had a very difficult childhood with like a very strict father figure. What's coming through strongly though for someone here is this father figure. For somebody here, it wasn't your biological parent and they were really tough on you. They may have singled you out growing up. They may have like disciplined you more severely than your other siblings. And it could have been like it's a little diabolic. Like it's like they maybe took something out on you because you weren't their biological child, possibly. I don't know. That's just sort of, it's kind of like icky energy. I don't even want to get into that, but that's what it's coming through in a way where it's like I don't know how to describe it other than it's like a very specific scenario. So it feels like it's only for one of you here, maybe a handful at the most. But yeah, it's like a parent could have singled you out growing up. And your sacral chakra is also saying that someone here grew up a little too, like way too fast. Like your childhood is straight up missing in your energy. That may be why I'm seeing it is like there's like this lapse in your memory, or like there's like missing pieces or something, because it almost feels as though someone's childhood is like missing in a way, like in your energy body. Or you're conscious. So some of you may have tried to even do inner child like healing work, and you couldn't with this 8 of Cups in reverse right here, because it's like you can remember certain things maybe like clearly, or something like that. But the two strongest feelings coming through is a very strict or a difficult relationship with a father figure, or a completely absent father figure with this Emperor in reverse. So some of you could have even like watched your dad be more of a father figure to his other kids, and your sacral chakra is talking about this deep disappointment of being overlooked as a child. And for some of you too, like if this wasn't in your childhood, or it could have been in your childhood and then carried over into like your adulthood and like your relationships, or maybe even you experience that same thing with like a partner, like a romantic partner of yours. Maybe in other relationships you always sort of felt like a little invisible or overlooked with this Emperor, because the Emperor has an extremely strong presence. I mean, he's the Emperor. Okay, so emperors, they even succeed kings. The Emperor has the strongest presence that there is in tarot, besides the Hierophant. Those are the two it characters. And for the Emperor to be in reverse, it's not saying that he lacks a presence, because you can't take this position from the Emperor. It's literally cemented. Like he's sitting on a throne that's all stone. It's like cemented. So you can't take that from him. So in reverse, it's like somebody oppressed you. They made you feel oppressed. They made you feel suppressed. They made you feel like you weren't important. They tried to convince you that you weren't important. They tried to act like you weren't there, or act like you were invisible, or act like you didn't matter. And so there's like this recurring theme of like, I matter, I matter, I matter. And that's what's coming through on my end anyways. So it feels like there was a possible father figure or somebody, a very prominent figure in your life in the past at some point, that it's like they put effort into overlooking you. And that's where I'm feeling like this deep disappointment in your sacral chakra of being overlooked. Maybe feeling like somebody didn't choose to love you with this 8 of Cups right here in reverse, because the 8 of Cups as well, it's all about a choice. You know, he voluntarily walks away from these 8 cups, not because they're not good enough, like in the 4 of Cups, where he actually rejects 1 cup. And it's not because they spilled over and got ruined, like in the 5 of Cups, like how there's 3 cups that have fallen over. He's not living in the past, like in the 6 of Cups. And he's not shooting a shot and gambling with fate, like in the 7 of Cups. This card specifically talks about the idea of something being good enough, but still not right for him, specifically when we're dealing with the 8 of Cups. So like some of us have had relationships, for example, where maybe it's right on paper, but it's still off. Like we could settle here and be happy, but we're still not fulfilled. There's still something missing. And that's exactly what this card is talking about. And it showed up for you in reverse. And the way that this card is speaking to me energetically is pile 4, whoever this was from your childhood or maybe your past, your sacral chakra has literally been saying to you, it was never you, it was them. Like I said, these 8 cups, they're perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. He just chooses to not accept them. He chooses to walk away from them and find cups elsewhere. He chooses to take the chance or the risk of possibly never finding more cups, but he takes it anyways, because he's like, you know, it's not for me. And it's like there's this feeling of like, I know I was perfect and I still wasn't good enough. So it's like you've been trying to understand possibly why someone didn't love you or maybe treat you right or respect you. And your sacral chakra has been saying that this rejection or abandonment or neglect is not yours to process. And this is why your sacral has not been able to digest this emotion properly and to be done with it, because it doesn't make sense. It will never make sense. You were the perfect kid, or you were the best boyfriend or the best girlfriend or wife or husband. You were an exceptional friend. You were the best brother or sister. You are a good person, and you are perfection in the eyes of you. Your soul, spirit, and your higher self sees you as perfect. It knows and it realizes that you are perfect. This is something that you consciously or emotionally, I should say, are still sort of trying to catch up to, because of this deep impression that this emperor masculine figure left on you or impressed upon you. So your higher self's voice is really spoken to you, Pile 4, specifically through your sacral, especially as of late, because it's been trying to get you to see beyond this abandonment. It's been trying to get you to see that you are not the problem. You never were. And that is why you will never fully, truly understand this situation. It will always remain a mystery, and a question mark will always be there, because there was nothing wrong with you. It's almost like spending your life trying to understand why 1 + 1 just doesn't equal 3. It's because it doesn't work. Like in our numerical system, 1 + 1 will never equal 3. And you wouldn't blame yourself for those numbers not adding up. So don't blame yourself for someone's inability to love you or to take care of you or to treat you right in the way that you were always meant to be treated. You've got judgment underneath the deck that I'm seeing over here. I got to cover up this bottom part, but you have judgment underneath the deck. Okay. When you are ready, Pile 4, to live without seeing yourself as the problem or the reason that someone hurt you, your sacral chakra is going to show you exactly how to release this from your energetic womb space, because we all have a spiritual womb, whether you are male or female, doesn't matter. And a spiritual womb is the energetic container for all of our emotions and subconscious programs. This is where you can find all the things that we have learned and unlearned, and those really strong emotions and traumas and memories are held in this space. So we even have energetic memories that we contain in this space. It's a part of our conscious. So the conscious has a womb. It's the spiritual womb. It's the energetic womb. This is a sacral chakra area. And what does a womb do? It provides a home or a shelter or a space for a seed to be able to take root and to grow. So whatever we harbor in our spiritual womb, it grows to meet us in the physical realm, where we have another opportunity to sever that cord or to continue feeding it. It's up to us though. So the universe is made up of quantum mechanics, and it is a gigantic machine that works through reflecting and mirroring. What we encounter in the physical is somehow alive or conscious in our energetic body. And your sacral, because you guys know me, I will always live by the notion that every single one of us is extremely unique, like a thumbprint. So each of us is a very specific design of God or the all that has manifested here to meet and interact with itself. So there's no one piece of advice that will speak to all of us. Each of us is incomparable. So as distinctive and unique as you are is as unique that your spiritual medicine or cure needs to be. It's a process, but this is the message that your sacral really wanted to communicate to you, which is, I'm ready to leave this here. And cry if you have to, Pile 4. Someone here is emotionally blocked with your 8 of Cups in reverse and then 2 4 showing up. So this may have bled into your relationships as well. Some of you may have asked yourself, like, am I capable of loving someone else? And am I capable of feeling love? Am I capable of being loved? And it's like, yes, you are. That part of you has been buried quite deep. So you'll have to emotionally deep dive to rescue that part of you, but it's waiting for you to do that. So you're not on the wrong emotional path, Pile 4, with this 8 of Cups in reverse. Your unconscious just needs to surface is all. So start by admitting it to yourself, whatever that may be with this 4 of Swords. If you're feeling like you need to admit something, or you need to say something or get something off your chest, just start there. Like, for example, if you need to admit to yourself, like, I'm not okay, or I'm not happy, or I am hurting, or I need help, or I want to be able to feel X, Y, or Z, whatever it is. Like I said, the spiritual medicine is as remarkable and specific as you were created to be. So this is past life work as well for some of you guys here. And I don't know much about numerology. I only know this because I have my own numerological chart analyzed, but some of you may have karmic debt attached to your life path number. And most people, from what I've heard anyways, most people do have some sort of like karmic debt attached to some of their numbers in their chart. But specifically look into your life path number. And karmic debt numbers are, I believe, 13, 14, 16, and 19, I think. So if you're a life path 4, 5, 7, or 1, you could have debt attached to it, karmic debt. And not every 4, 5, 7, or 1 will have debt attached to it, but it is something that you could check out for some of you guys. And karmic debt is not a bad thing. But actually it gives you more insight as to like, oh, this is why this recurring theme has been so strong in my life, or this is why this challenge has been so huge in my life, or this is why this experience has been so fill in the blank in my life. It just adds a lot more context as to our own incarnate experience and journey. So let's start getting some additional messages, any other messages that I may have missed out on that your sacral chakra wants to communicate to you, because your messages came through kind of specific. So let's see if we can get any additional messages. I was not going to do a pile 4, but I'm so glad I did, because I could not shake this feeling. Like I said, I'm already done with the other piles. I've already edited them, but I could not shake the feeling that like this reading is not, I can't post this. Like something was just like, I don't know. If you're a reader or something like that, you'll hear me. You'll get me. What do they say? The girls that get it, get it. Okay, let's see. We have here globe possibility. There's a lot of possibilities. Don't feel as though you were missing out on the possibility of living the life that you want to live, pile 4. Yeah, and this is card number 31, pile 4, and it's actually 3:11 on my clock right now. But yeah, so 31, something about that could be significant. Anyways, though, yeah, so globe possibility is just telling me that like something is not, there could be some sort of maybe experience that you guys feel like you'll never have. I don't know why that's globe possibility. There could be some sort of experience that you guys feel like maybe you'll never have or that you'll never see. And that's not the truth of it. There's just, okay, so that's kind of telling me that some of you guys, you may feel as though you're a bit like there's some sort of obstruction in your life that you're dealing with or that you keep dealing with. Especially with this being a globe here, because the globe, like, as you can see, it's this circular sort of like sphere shape. So it keeps going round and round and round. So there could feel like something that you're not getting past. And because of that, because I've been there before, I understand that when it feels like we keep like hitting a wall somewhere, it can almost make us feel as though we're limited to a certain type of life experience. Like, oh my God, I'm never going to experience this, or I'm never going to be happy, or I'm never going to have that, because we keep hitting a certain wall. But this card right here is a very specific message from your sacral chakra saying that like, this is still possible. Something's still possible. So whatever it is that you guys feel is like not going to be a part of your experience, your sacral chakra wants to say BS on that. Like, this is still whatever it is that you guys want in life. Don't give up on that, and don't think that like you're not going to experience it, because you are. There's also a world of possibilities too, or even opportunities that could be coming to you guys pretty soon here. Look at what we have. Lotus flower here, enlightenment, and it looks like a postcard or like mail or something. So there could be some sort of information or a message that you guys had to, it's like it had to travel a far way to see you for this to be like a message or mail. And then we have here like globe, like the world. It's like something had to travel all around the world in order to reach you. So it's not that something isn't going to happen. It's just that it's just that you guys may have had to do something a few times. You may have had to experience something quite a few times in order for you to find closure with something. And that is kind of what I was picking up with your tarot cards down here is, it's like that was actually the first thing that I picked up because of your 2 4s. It's like there's something that you guys want to be freed of. It's something that you guys want to be relieved of and let go of, but it's a challenge letting go of it. So sometimes you guys may actually feel like you let go of something and then you find yourself right back at square one. But there's enlightenment here. So it's like every time you guys make some sort of revolution, every time you feel like you're seeing the same issue or the same experience sort of arise, or the same emotion kind of come back up, realize that there's enlightenment. There's different information. There's different messages. So like, let's just say, for instance, let me just turn it into an example. Let's say you got out of like one relationship because it was really toxic. And then you get into another one, and this new relationship reminds you exactly of your old one. Like, it's like there's new information to be uncovered. There's new enlightenment in that relationship that feels, or it seems really similar to your previous one that you got out of. So there's more to be gained every time you make a revolution around something, or every time something like finds you again, or you find yourself back at square one. It's for a reason. It's to enlighten you to something new. So very specifically, your sacral chakra is talking about a lot of you guys. Your soul came here knowing like, I'm gonna have to keep going through something or repeating something. So you guys may resonate with the fact that it's like, you feel like you've been on the same track. You feel like you keep dealing with some sort of similar situation in your past. But another thing that I'm actually seeing with this, because we have enlightenment here, enlightenment is all about liberation. Because enlightenment, it brings like new levels of insight, new levels of wisdom and knowledge. And we don't get to that new level without completing the last one, the previous one. So what I feel like with Globe Possibility is also saying for a lot of my pile fours is, if you have found yourself where it's just like you're asking yourself, why do I keep going through this? It's actually because you guys are closing something out. That may be why the message came through, to check to see if you have karmic debt attached to your life path number. Because when something's attached to our life path number, it's like our soul incarnated here to close something out, but it's like it takes a full experience, like incarnate experience, or a full lifetime to completely close it out. But it doesn't mean that you're going to keep going through it though either. So with Globe Possibility, I feel like you guys have actually sort of like completed something here. I feel like something's actually done, or you guys are close to being very done with some sort of experience. What's actually interesting though too about your card here with Lotus Flower and Enlightenment is that the lotus flower is a very powerful flower, like all throughout ancient times. Like our ancestors would use them for like spiritual awakenings, because they had these properties in them where, I guess if you use them the right way, they could trigger like a experience in an alternate reality. So kind of like how nowadays like people will go to certain places in the world to do ayahuasca and have that sort of experience, that spiritual enlightenment or spiritual awakening. And lotus flowers, they are also symbolic of rebirth and spiritual transformation, as well as divinity, because lotus flowers, they actually rise from waters, murky waters most of the time. They actually also represent like purity or purification in some way. So every time you guys sort of experience something or repeat something, or you feel as though you're repeating something, it's like it's a whole new process. It's a whole new experience. It's a purification process as well. You guys may not realize it, but you've been gradually cleansing your spirit and your soul from this extremely karmic situation or attachment that may have followed you several lifetimes, or it may be something that is embedded in sort of like your ancestral DNA or your lineage or something like that. But you guys are actually clearing something out. So you guys came here as kind of like we discussed this on Patreon a while back. It was just like a little theory that I made, because I don't know, I've never heard anybody mention this or anything like that before. But you know how like we have light workers? I wonder if like we have karmic workers too. Like some people, like they come here, maybe that kind of is what I guess a light worker could be. I don't know. But I was just wondering, like, I wonder if some people are like karmic workers, like they come here like specifically to cleanse karma from their line, from their ancestral line, from their spirit body. I don't know, but that could be something here. You guys look into lotus. I don't know much about plants and herbs and flowers and all that stuff, but look into lotus flower if you feel drawn to it. I know it had a very strong symbology as well in ancient Chem, ancient Egypt, in other words. Try to see through your astrocartography too, if you can maybe pinpoint a past life that you may have had in a different part of the globe. Let's grab some additional messages here too, from your angels and your higher self. I feel like you guys had to travel a long way. Exactly. I feel like you guys have had to travel a long way for your enlightenment. I feel like you guys, my pile 4, some of you guys have really, you guys have really like had to claw your way out of some stuff to find some enlightenment. Like it says here, ghosts of the pasts. This is a message, specific message from your angels. Let go of the ghosts that haunt you. What was I talking about your whole reading? This is something from like your past or maybe even your childhood with a masculine emperor figure here. It says, let go of the ghosts that haunt you and stop obsessing about what you don't have. Remember, closure comes from inside of you. That's exactly what I've been saying your whole reading, that this is like your sacral chakra is trying to tell you, like, you can't make 1 + 1 = 3. You're never going to make sense of why this happened, because it shouldn't have happened. You didn't deserve it. You did nothing to deserve it. Even if you have karmic debt attached to your life path number, like you didn't do necessarily anything to deserve it. You know, karma is just, it's just cosmic retribution is really all it is. And so when we're dealing with karma, is basically just us meeting a part of ourselves that we let go of or we projected in the past. And so it's just sort of catching up to us, and we're meeting it in a different form. And like I always say, we don't manifest people's actions. Those are just people making choices that they're making. But yeah, there could be something when it comes to your karmic debt. There could be something that maybe some of you find where it's like, oh, this is why. It's just going to add some context. It's going to give you guys some additional insight as to why you may be experiencing like similar themes throughout your life. It's a ghost of the past. And this may be also why I picked up your past life coming through as well. This is card number 77. And underneath the deck here, we have, look, abundantly gifted. You are powerfully favored, supernaturally gifted, and will be abundantly successful in this lifetime. Believe in your gifts. You guys even have gifts as well. And this may be why we have lotus flower enlightenment right here for you, pile 4, because you guys are actually spiritually gifted. And so your sacral chakra may be saying like, you're going through these sort of experiences, or, you know, what have you, because there's some sort of gifts that you have been gradually enlightening yourself to at the same time, or you're gradually like unlocking them at the same time. And it's just been a process for you guys. It's been a wild process for some of my pile 4s. But with abundantly gifted, like I was saying too, as well, with like the karmic debt and stuff like that, like it's not a bad thing. It'll just show you like the same themes, but also too, those working through stuff like that. Karmic debts bring karmic gifts because the universe is balanced. Human beings are not always balanced in the way that we're supposed to be. We're designed to be balanced, but we have to really find a way to maintain that balance, to find a good equilibrium in life. And so for a lot of you, especially my pile 4s, it's like maybe with as much debt as you're clearing out is as many gifts as you guys have. Like I mentioned when I was just looking at your tarot cards, as remarkable and distinct as you are, is as specific and unique as your cure has to be. And that also goes with your gifts as well, pile 4. Some of you guys, you have very specific, unique gifts that you're unlocking that only you could unlock. Okay. And that's why so many of you guys, Glow Possibility and Lotus Flower Enlightenment is here. Let's grab some additional messages too. But I feel like with this abundantly gifted, I feel like this is almost like, this is spiritual gifts as well as mundane gifts too. Like it's not just spiritual gifts, but it's also like physical gifts, like maybe finances, money, you know, physical possessions. We have here, pay yourself first. Make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have savings to invest in your present and your future. So just some additional messages from your angels and your sacral chakra. It wants you to pay yourself first. And I feel as though this is your sacral chakra's way of like saying, like, make sure you're taking care of you as well. Because there may have been like a lot of energy spent trying to figure this out. So make sure you're also taking care of yourself, like in the literal sense, like, yes, pay yourself first, but also like in the metaphysical sense, make sure that you're also like paying yourself energetically. Make sure you're also paying yourself in the way where it's like you're being compassionate with yourself. You're being gentle with yourself. You're being kind to yourself. And so we have here underneath the deck, declutter. You'll feel better and more focused if you'll take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need your items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. Okay, so this is even about decluttering your space, your physical space, but as well as too, like I was saying with your sacral chakra, it really wants you to release this from, well, that was the first message that I picked up. Some of you guys, you want to be liberated from something, you want to be relieved of something, but there's a bit of a challenge here in like feeling like I want to let this go, but I can't let this go, or how do I let this go? So your sacral chakra is also saying like to declutter your energetic womb, your energetic space. Let's grab some questions from your sacral chakra. What it wants to ask you: would I be proud of myself if I spoke to other people in the same way as my thoughts speak to me? How do my thoughts speak to me? This is what I was saying with your pay yourself first over here. Like, make sure you're being kind with yourself too. Make sure you're paying yourself first in that way. The same way that you take care of other people, make sure you're taking care of yourself first in that way. Underneath the deck, another question from your sacral chakra is: what is the most courageous thing I've done? How did it make me feel? You're a very courageous person, pile 4. And these are questions for you to answer, but don't forget how like strong and courageous you are, especially for going on this journey. Like, your soul knew that it was going to be this sort of like globe sort of kind of experience where maybe certain difficult experiences you would kind of keep working through. It knew that, and it still came here. So message from your sacral chakra, we have here pink granite. So I'm going to read this out of the book. Something about this feels related to the heart for me too. Maybe it's because of the pink. And then underneath the deck, we have bloodstone, which I've heard is a pretty powerful stone. So one second. Okay, and pink granite here says this stone is considered the lightning bolt. And it says pink granite has the highest paramagnetic resonance of all stones and creates immense energy. It says you are an ancient Egyptian with the arcane knowledge that role entails, but you originated in the stars. Maybe that's why I kind of picked up ancient Kim with the lotus flower here. But it says you understand cycles of birth, death, and rebirth and immortality. Yeah, that's what we talked about with your lotus flower. It's all about rebirth and transformation. It says you have been involved in ancient power struggles. Cut yourself loose. Oh, this is why you guys keep finding yourself in this, because there's some sort of power struggle here, like I was saying, with this like masculine figure, where you guys, you want to be cut loose of this. You don't know how to let go. This is why. Oh my God. Let me just show you guys this paragraph. It says you have been involved in ancient power struggles. Cut yourself loose, become more grounded. Learning experiences occur regularly, and serendipitous synchronicities put you in exactly the right place at the right time. Okay, it also says here, be assertive and make things happen. Events move with surprising speed once you focus your intention. See the whole picture before deciding. Be pragmatic, but don't give power away. This is that Emperor in reverse. Maintain balance in a relationship. You need diplomacy and tact. Lightning can strike twice. This is that globe possibilities. It says if dealing with ancient strife, look at the bigger picture. This is also that globe possibilities. Healing insight says everything must pass away. Death precedes transformation and rebirth. And the frequency of the stone is earthy and high. The chakra is all. The timing is out of the blue. And the soul path is a lightning conductor for positive change. This is what's going on, you guys. You guys are literally conductors for positive, powerful transformation and change. And you guys' journey is really meant to inspire maybe even like the globe or a whole bunch of people. So it could even be that you guys are how possible transformation is, even from deep pains and traumas, you know, which is never an easy role, but that could be what is happening with a lot of you guys. So definitely make sure that you check out lotus flowers. Try to check out your astrocartography chart to see if you guys had like past lives in certain places. Look into karmic debt, see if it applies to your life path number anywhere. Those are just a few places that you guys can start if you're wondering. And yeah, Also, as well, your sacral chakra wants you guys to ask yourselves these questions over here and sort of like meditate on those. But other than that, pile 4, this is all I'm saying. I'm so thankful that I ended up doing your pile. I knew something was off. So anyways, thank you for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your beautiful guides and my beautiful guides, our higher self and amazing spirit, for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. And until next time, please stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys.